Yo, what's up? What's good? Boy Q Northstar over here. Um, I'm gonna I'm just gonna address this one time and one time only. And uh I just wanna say I'm sickened by just the same way I was with the when the movie Black Panther came out. One of the main reasons why I refused to watch it. I mean this movie's for kids, so I wouldn't watch it anyways, regardless of what color a mermaid is. I'm actually a person who doesn't care what color a person is, just if they're a good actor or actress, that knows how to, be supreme in their craft, and can hold my attention and keep me entertained because I don't watch a lot of TV because nowadays all Hollywood does is remix my childhood and make it suck. So when I go and tell my kids about the original or I should say my sons, about the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they look at these half retarded drawings and think that that's what they look like. And believe it or not, if you ask me, they looked way better back in the late '80s, early '90s than they do now. But that's besides the point, neither here nor there. I'm disgusted, utterly disgusted, by the females in my race that are going around doing reaction videos to when this young lady, beautiful woman, no shade on her. Unfortunately, she is in the midst of this cluster crap. No fault of her own. But so I don't want people to think that I'm disrespecting her, because I'm not. And I have no disrespect. I don't even know who she is. So I have nothing negative to say. I'm not talking about her. What I'm talking about is the glorification of one, the typical prototypical thing that Disney and a lot of Hollywood does, which is make movies that make black women fawn over non-black men. I just seen something on Instagram where another dude was talking about this, and it was funny because I was actually thinking about bringing that up because of when they did all. Remember they did the. I think there was a. It was like a bunch of different. It was a bunch of different like princesses, and they were like all different colors, all different races allegedly. And but the prince never changed. I can't. I don't know, trust me, I don't watch those kind of movies. So, someone has to tell me in the comment section whether or not there's been a black prince, because from far back as I can remember, there's never been a black prince in any of these movies. And on top of that, could you imagine? Like, okay, so people want to say, "Oh, why are people so upset that they made Ariel black?" Could you imagine if the prince was black and then they had a white woman who was contending or in love, or as how some of these people, especially some of these black women who will put it, because these same black women who have issues when black men date outside their race have absolutely no issue when black women do it, a la Serena, a la Eve. Sorry, get my mail. Put my fat cheeks in the camera. They have no problems when those women do that kind of thing. When they do those such things, none whatsoever. So it's okay. It's okay for this to go down like that. But if there was a black prince and a white mermaid, the outrage would be even more. Remember there was a TV show where there was a black president? It was like Scandal, but in reverse. And remember, I can't think of the dude's name. But he played in, I think when he was really young, he played in like Heat of the Night or something like that. Why can't I remember this dude's name? But anyways, he was playing the role of the black president, and I forget who they had for the white woman who was supposed to be the mistress. But black women had such a fucking conniption fit that they canceled the show because they were just so distraught that they couldn't find a black woman to play the. I don't know if it was a wife. I think it was a wife, not a mistress. I can't even remember. But I know the love interest was a white woman, and he was the black president. And it was a problem. And yet, when black women complained, they got what they wanted. They got the show canceled. They got it put down. They put it out of its misery. So, it's okay that it goes one way and not the other, huh? Okay. My second beef is, and I said it in a previous video, I'm sick and tired, I really am, of the tokenism, the victimhood, we never get a character for us. But it's like when I think it was Vivica Fox was questioning Ice Cube and saying, well, you got this contract with America, but where's black women in this? Okay, so where's black men in the whole prince and princess theme? Huh? But what makes me even more sick is these pre-planned responses, reactions. They're pre-planned. Don't be fooled. Everything on social media is pre-planned. Okay? I pre-planned what I'm going to talk about before I actually talked about it. Don't be fooled. Don't be stupid. The powers that be understand the psychology of the black woman very, very well. Because the major people who had the most access to black women were not actually black men when we first came to this continent. Hopefully the wind isn't fucking up the audio. But it was the slave masters who proceeded to have the most access to black women. So only they would really understand their psychology the most, the best. It is very sickening to me to go around seeing young little black girls shedding tears because a fictional character has been turned from white to black. Could you imagine? And you know, we already know. This is what irks me about my race. We are the biggest fucking hypocrites. We'll kill each other all day, every day, 7 times, 7 different ways over the weekend. And then we'll turn around and cry injustice, no justice, no peace, when a so-called racist white cop does it. But when we do it, that's hood life, son. God, you can't be lacking, son. Could you imagine if they played Martin Luther King with a white dude? Could you imagine that? Or Malcolm X, or Kwame Ture, any of the legendary Black Panthers. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine the outrage? Could you imagine if they turned Fat Albert and the gang all white? Since those are fictional characters. Could you imagine the outrage that would cause if Fat Albert and the gang was now all white? This is why, for the most part, I don't really do videos anymore, because my logic won't allow me to be in the groupthink, to be with the in crowd, because the in crowds are fucking morons. Let's make no mistakes about it. If you think this is okay, and this is what black folks don't understand, life is a two-edged sword. If it cuts one way, it must cut the other. Make no mistake about it. At some point, they will take some of your favorite characters and they will change how they look. Make no mistake about it. It will happen. It will happen. But until you learn to understand and realize that these people are methodical, they do nothing without having an agenda. And the agenda is to replace you. So just wait, be patient, you will be replaced. Whether that's via illegal immigration or that's via entertainment. So enjoy your representation now, because at some point soon, you won't be represented at all. And for the most part, you probably won't even be looked at as being human. It's amazing how when they, and this is a little deviation, but it's amazing how when they first rolled out these so-called magical cure shots, they targeted who? POCs, people of color. When are we ever going to learn that feeling good doesn't mean shit in the long run if there's no substance behind it? And you'll get nothing and you'll love it. And that's why they keep doing it to you. Because you love feeling represented. Their creations, if you're not in their creations, you don't feel like you are a human being. You don't feel like you even exist, do you? See, that's where I differ from the group. I don't need to be in your creation to feel validated, to feel represented. Why? I represent my damn self. And I don't need a network. I don't need a production company to represent me, for me to feel powerful, for me to feel good about myself. If your self-esteem is that low, you got bigger issues than what color a fucking mermaid is. Let's just keep it a buck.